Hi, nice to meet you, Marvin.
Before we continue, could you please provide the password phrase?
Ronaldo.
Authentication successful. Welcome. May I ask who I'm speaking with?
Yeah, you're speaking with Mr. Kola.
Nice to meet you, Mr. Color. I hope you're doing well today. What would you like to work on today?
Alright, so I want to know like what are the companies on my investments table?
You currently have two companies in your investment portfolio, Amazon and Nvidia. Would you like me to go through them one by one or provide more details about a specific company?
Alright, so I just want to know my investments, like the amount I've invested in each company, and what's my stake in each company.
Certainly. Here's a summary of your investments. Amazon, you've invested $6 million with a 27% stake. Nvidia, you've invested $600,000 with a 20% stake. Is there anything else you'd like to know about these companies?
Yeah, that's all. Thank you.
You're welcome. Have a great day.
Yeah, bye.
Thank you for letting me know. Nice to meet you, Cola. I hope you're doing well today. What would you like to work on today?
Alright, so I want to change the report date for Amazon. I want to change it to the 2nd of March next year, which is 2027, because I just got a new report from them a couple of weeks ago.
I'll update the annual reporting date for Amazon to March 2nd, 2027. Would you like me to proceed?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, guys. So if you saw my last video, you would see me talking about building something for angel investors and venture capital. So I'm actually done with it, and as you guys could see in the call, it was really smooth. And I'll show you guys the results when I share my screen. So yeah, the voice call was more of like the interface, because it's not a form of text or voice chat. So the call is more of like the interface, and is more like 20% of the entire work or the entire automation. But the main work starts at the back end, because you would have to be the n8n automations, Airtable automations. You also have to include a couple of functions in Airtable as well, because you gotta make sure the tables are well connected. And I also did a couple of interfaces as well. So I'll be sharing that with you guys I'll be sharing that with you guys when I share my screen. Alright, so as you guys can see on my screen, you can see the n8n workflows. Now, the first workflow is the AI agent, which is connected to my Vapi assistant. Now, this AI agent can perform various actions across my Airtable documents. Then it will format the response before sending it back to the response to web. Now, the second workflow is more like the first stage of the workflow. So as an angel investor, you definitely get a bunch of mails every single day or every single week. Now, what this does is that once a mail lands into your inbox, it's going to check whether it has to do with someone pitching a startup to you. And if it's not someone pitching a startup to you, it's not gonna do anything. But let's say it's someone pitching a startup to you, it's gonna send them a form link, the Airtable form link, and it's gonna add them to the startup label. So now that's for the n8n side of things. And now for the Vapi side of things, the name of my assistant is Marvin. So I added the first message because the assistant is to speak first. Now I added the knowledge base about who I am, and I put that here. Then I added the prompts and the use case for each tool I added. So I added three different tools. Two tools are connected to n8n, and the other two is to basically hang up the call. So now the two tools I connected was the record tool and the date tool. Now the record tool is to basically get records, like let's say you want to get the details of a particular table. You're just gonna query it, and it's gonna send back the outputs. Then for the date tool, it is basically meant to like help the assistant to alter date or update the annual report date on my investment table. So now I might not be interested in going to my table base directly and do stuff like that. So now this is for Airtable, and this is where I built a lot of stuff actually. So now this is for the startup intake table, which is connected to the startup intake form. Now once the person fills the form and answers the question, it's going to be added here. Now I added about two field agents, and now those field agents basically analyze your pitch deck and write a summary of what you wrote in your pitch deck. The second field agent basically research about the founder using their name and their LinkedIn link. Then the second table is for opportunities. So now once you come over to your table base and you take a look at the startup intake, now if you see any startup that you might be interested in investing into, just come over to this place and add them here. And since the record is connected to the this particular table, you just gotta select the record and every other field is gonna be automatically filled. Now this is for the primary contacts table. Now for some startup or companies, their primary contact might not be the founder. It might just be the HR or someone else in the team. Now, all they gotta do is to just fill the primary contact form, and that person is gonna be added, and their email. Now, why I didn't added the company name question into the form was because most business emails often come with the business domain, so that way you already know the company you're trying to select the record for. So now this is my companies, which is more like the major table. Now this is for the list of companies I've invested into, and it's connected to all other tables as well. So now you can see that it's connected to all other table. Now I used two different automations for this particular system. The first automation is for when the annual report date is a month from now. It's going to send them a message. It's going to send a message to the primary contact telling them that the next annual report is a month from now, and basically just remind them. Then I built a second automation, which is for the opportunity automation. So once you add the record to the opportunities table, it's going to send them a message telling them they are interested in investing into the company. Then it's going to ask them like what's the best time to like up on a Zoom call to discuss the details of the contract, and yeah, that's it. So now I built two different interfaces with one having two pages. The first interface is for the investment interface, which included my investments, which is connected to my investment table, and you can see the details as well. Is on the I think the mail view or something like that. So the second one is for the opportunities, and it's connected to the opportunities table. Now the third interface is the startup intake, which is connected to the startup intake table. Now I have two forms: the startup intake form and the primary contact form, which I'm gonna send. So yeah, that's all about it, and yeah, that's all.